Hey guys, it's Clancy. I just got home from work and I don't know why, but I just feel so compelled to make this video right now. I see videos similar to this in my subscription box pop up all the time. Not all the time, but quite often. I never click on them, ever, because I'm like, I just don't. I just feel like it's preachy and it almost feels generic. I don't want this video to feel generic, and I'll tell you why in a second, but it feels generic. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the Florida shooting that happened. 17 people, as of right now when I'm filming this, dead. And, you might be thinking like, oh, just another YouTuber preaching about gun control or gun violence. That's not what this is at all. We're actually not talking about that at all. But even if I do not want this to seem preachy at all. But this Florida shooting really did, I don't want to say it touched me, that makes it sound like it's a good thing or something. It like hit me hard. Las Vegas shooting, that happened, and not to say that I didn't care about that. That's not at all, no. Obviously I was like, oh my gosh, but that one hit me in more of like a numb way. Like it almost, it was like, that is horrible. But this, I don't know why. Maybe it's because it feels more close to home. It was in a school. Las Vegas, more people died, but for me personally, I don't go to concerts that much, so it didn't have that personal effect. For a school shooting, it's like these kids went to school and then they watched their classmates die. That's how it feels to me. And then I like physically watched the news unfold yesterday afternoon. Like I watched on the TV, like there could be up to 20 people injured, and you think, wow, you just hope they're okay. And then all of a sudden, I think it was a congressman came on CNN, or no, I was watching NBC rather, and he says, we're getting reports that many are dead. They didn't have a number then, but many are dead. And you're just like, oh my gosh, these are students, not that you could be 6 or 60, your life is still important, but you're like, oh my god, like they went to school today to learn, and this is what happened. And and then I woke up, I went to bed early yesterday, because you guys know I work early, and I woke up and it was 17 dead, and what? And then I watched a video, which I think it's been taken off the internet now, but I watched a video that was in like our news, our news email, of a girl. You just hear everyone screaming and crying. The police officers are in the classroom. The gunman had just been in that classroom. And then you see, she moves the camera, a person just laying there dead. A pool of just blood smeared everywhere, like something you'd only see in a movie. The officer's carrying another girl out who was very badly injured. And then you see the girl in the video and all of her classmates running down the hallway, practically tripping over dead bodies. I mean, what? And so right now I don't want this, I want to open up a discussion about this, but I'm not talking about gun violence or gun control. I think that's an important conversation, whether you view it in one way or the other, but that's not the type of conversation I want to have right now, because there's another element to this, and it's just that a person did this. Like, gun or no gun, like a human pulled the trigger. A human wanted people to die. A 19-year-old. That's Nikolas Cruz. Like that's the suspected gunman, and oh my gosh! And the important thing that I want to tell you guys, and that this is where like I will say it myself. I'm like, I don't want to sound preachy, guys, but I was young once. I still, obviously I'm not like some sort of middle-aged person right now, but I remember being in middle school, and I remember seeing people bully people, and I'm not saying this guy was even bullied, but if we know one thing with history, that's how these things typically turn out. Something was happening in their lives. I read up on Nikolas Cruz. He was actually, both his birth parents had died. His mom just died of pneumonia the end of 2017, and his dad had died a few years back. And, so obviously there were things going on in his life. But obviously bullying it generally is what seems to be a recurring theme. They were angry. They went to the school, they wanted to hurt people. And there's no excuses for what he did. But it just reminds me of I do remember being in middle school, and people were mean. Like, people would bully people, and one thing that I can honestly say that I'm proud of and happy of is that I never, ever bullied anyone. And it might sound weird, like, okay, Clancy, like, we weren't expecting you to be a bully, but there are people walking around who are 40, 50, 60 years old, and when they were little, they were bullies. Like, I can think of the people I went to middle school with, and I'm thinking, wow, now they're, like, mature 20-something-year-olds who are kind, but, wow, back then, they were so mean to certain people. And I like, some people were just, like, the targets. Like, they were just, like, picked on. And that's insane. That is insane that that happens. And I'm not completely innocent. Like, trust me, like, when I was a kid, like, I did things, like, gosh, I'm like, wow, that was mean. But I was never a bully. And I just cannot believe that there are, like, 17 people who just walked into school that day and they're just gone forever. And the families, what they must be thinking, oh my gosh. And gosh, so it just, to me, yeah, this just hits home. It just strikes a chord. And guys, I mean, like, a lot of you are younger viewers, and, like, I'm telling you, like, if you're in middle school or high school right now, you know what, you're in a different time than when I went in middle school and high school. We didn't really have mass shootings back in those years. Yeah, there was Columbine, which happened in the 1990s, but I believe 1990s. I don't even have the date, but it happened way back when. And so you guys have this, you might seem like, wow, this is terrible, but you also have this advantage, guys, because you have the ability to think, this is what could happen. You know, that like, this person who did it, there are no excuses, oh my gosh, but thinking, why did he do it? He was obviously very troubled, and also very hurt, wronged, and you have this ability, guys, to think that can happen. And, like, you see what bullying can do to someone, and if you have the ability to stand up for someone, guys, do it. And it might not always be easy. Because I do remember in middle school, when people would be bullying people, it would be very difficult to stand up for those. I mean, I'm not trying to, like, be like, oh, I'm like this or that, but I do remember I would stand up for the person, because that's just what humans do. And just, guys, so if you ever have the ability, and if you're a human and you go to school, there are people who are bullies, always stand up for the people who are being bullied. Always. But I don't want you guys to think this is me, like, making a video saying, oh, this poor kid who was bullied now is no. I mean, of course, I have sympathy in the fact that, wow, like, both of his parents died and, you know, these terrible things were happening to him, but no, there's no excuse for what he did. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. At all. Gosh, and right now I'm just rambling, because I'm literally just like, I can't believe this happened, and it's crazy. It is absolutely insane that this is the world we live in. And, you know, speaking from a reporter standpoint, kind of went into work today thinking, like, I had to, like, kind of, look through all the footage and all that, and I was like, wow, that is tough. And I can't imagine what it would be like being a reporter on the ground in Florida, because I was just reporting from here in Ohio, just off of, you know, the computer and what I was seeing on the internet. I can't imagine actually being there and seeing people being carted off in person, because it's, you know, it must be so different in person. It is so different in person, and, you know, I mean, that's tough. And so definitely keep those reporters in your mind, and yeah, just keep the families. Geez, like, just thinking about, like, right now as we speak, there are people who lost their sons, daughters, brothers, sisters. Geez, it is unacceptable. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and make this video. I really don't even know why, but I just think it's important. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. And yeah, there are two different conversations you can have with this. You can have the gun control conversation, and you can have the mental health conversation. And for right now, like, if you guys are staying this long listening to this in the comments, I don't want to talk about the gun control situation. I like I said, I think it's a conversation that needs to happen, whether you go one way or the other. Like, yes, I understand people are going to talk about it, but I'm talking more about just being a good human being. I don't know. Mental health, like, to me, that's just what I wanted to focus on, the thing that was bothering me the most. But yeah, so I'm going to go. I hope you guys are good. I I hope all of you are safe if you guys live anywhere near the area. I hope none of your loved ones were harmed. And I remember even actually one of the things that I retweeted, I was tweeting a little bit about this earlier, was a text message. I'm sorry, you see, I try to close out the video and it's just slowed my mind. From a student, like kids were texting their parents saying goodbye because they thought they were going to die. Some kids did die, that's a thing, but some of them, one of the texts read, "If I don't make it, I love you and I appreciated everything you did for me." So yeah, geez, unimaginable. Yeah, it's unimaginable, but I'm gonna go. Stay safe, guys, and just remember, always be nice. I don't know. I'm gonna go. Bye.